If you run a small business and the shift to remote working environment makes you a little uncomfortable, you are not alone. You are not alone because, like so many other business owners, you can sense something, the potential for risk. The fact is, while working from home may be what's necessary to keep us healthy, it opens up all kinds of opportunities for cyber criminals to hack your networks and steal your data. Does that make you worry? It's very real, and it could do serious harm to your employees, customers, and partners. The good news is that improving your cybersecurity is within reach, even for small businesses working with a limited budget. This video gives you an overview of some of the cybersecurity risks to look out for and shows you what to do to stop them from becoming cyber attacks. Hey everyone, I'm George Makaye from Makaye InfoSec. Today, I want to talk to you about how small and medium-sized businesses can improve cybersecurity when employees are working in a remote or hybrid environment. We all know the pandemic has drastically changed the way we work, and because so many employees need to access critical information from outside their physical business locations, there are more opportunities for cyber criminals to breach networks and hack infrastructure. Here's the truth. Cybersecurity for SMBs is tough under normal circumstances, but the pandemic has created even greater obstacles for IT and security professionals. That's why it's more important than ever to make sure your employees understand best practices and guidelines to follow that will keep your business safe. A recent report from Gartner found that nearly half of the companies surveyed plan to let employees work remotely in some capacity even when the pandemic ends. This means that many organizations will make flexible working arrangements a permanent part of how they do business in the future. As a result, a company's grasp on how its data is used and transferred is critical. If you lose the grasp of how your data is being used, you open your company up to new and potentially dangerous attacks. One thing that's important to keep in mind is that hackers are aware of the shift to remote work. They are actively looking for ways to target workers using phishing campaigns, malware, and other threats. They're looking to gain control of servers and networks by compromising remote desktop accounts. They are searching for personal devices that do not adhere to an organization's security protection policy. To achieve an appropriate level of security in a remote landscape, you must secure your entry points and devices, but you also need to develop a comprehensive protection plan for all workers to follow. The goal of this plan should be to create a single, integrated security framework that simplifies device management and entry points and expands your visibility and control. To do that, your organization needs to understand where it's vulnerable and create a policy that speaks to the threats you face and the type of work environment you use. Workers must understand what is acceptable when it comes to handling data. They need to know what levels of authorization they have. They must be fully aware of how to make risk-based decisions surrounding the types of devices they use to access your network and your data. In a moment, I'll talk about how you can use a free checklist to identify where your organization is vulnerable. This checklist is a powerful tool that can help you quickly see what steps to take first. It covers everything you need to know to protect your business and will help you develop a security policy I described earlier. But first, I want to outline a couple of best practices you can use starting today. The first concerns content storage. Because of increased risk in a remote environment, we recommend securing your cloud-based or web-based storage software with encryption, multi-factor authentication, and passwords. The second is to enhance endpoint security with two-factor authentication. This simple step adds an additional layer of security when employees log into important applications and portals. One-time passwords, USB tokens, smart cards, and others make it harder for cybercriminals to attack you using the applications and tools you rely on. Third is your network connection. This should be done through a virtual private network or VPN, which uses SSL or IPsec to encrypt communication from a remote worker's device. This protects both the worker and your business by making sure hackers cannot decipher data traffic. And last is to adopt a risk management plan. A risk management plan will range based on your needs, but it's important to cover the basics. For example, can you track a machine if it's lost by an employee? Are you able to wipe it remotely so business information is not compromised? These are just two scenarios to consider, but making sure you have a plan will help in the event of a lost or stolen device. To sum it up, it's absolutely critical to secure your remote working environment. Failure to do so puts your business and your employees at risk. but there are simple, concrete steps you can take to improve your overall cybersecurity posture. In addition to the steps outlined above, I encourage you to download our cybersecurity checklist. It includes 10 fast-step questions to ask about your cybersecurity and will help you have a useful conversation with your team about building best practices and securing your work environments. I'll put a link to that download in the comment section, so please take a moment to download it today. And while you're there, be sure to like this channel. We are committed to helping SMBs just like you keep your data safe, and you don't want to miss the cybersecurity tips we will be sharing over the coming months.